Friends, y'all got a little quick moment to mind your business and be nosy with me? Okay, because somebody lying and it ain't me. Now, it's something I really wanted to talk about, and I feel like y'all gonna fight me over this, but don't fight me, because we gotta just open our minds and think about the possibilities out there, the endless possibilities out there. How long ago did humans really step up on the scene and do what we were supposed to be doing? Because you're not going to keep telling me that humans have been around for 2 million years and then our ancestors were around. Now, those are more like, primate type primitive beings. And then you have our ancestors that were been around at 250, 300,000 years ago. And then the people that look more like me and you, friends, they came about 50 to 65,000 years ago. And all that time, well, no civilizations until the ancient Sumerian people came about 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. And then you start seeing civilizations pop up all over. It just took a little spark. And they started all the civilizations. And for 8,000 years, all the way up into the last, we're gonna round it off and say 200 years. We just now discovered electricity and wireless connectivity, technology advances. In the past 30 years, we done went from cassette tape to CD-ROM to USB to wireless Bluetooth to auxiliary cord. We done been, in the past 30 years in my life, have been through so many ups and downs. That's why nostalgia is real for people who were born in the 90s and the 80s, because baby, we done seen so much advance just so fast. Some things that took people a lifetime to get to, we're seeing it in a matter of 10, 20, 30 years. All of that from people who've been around for millions of years. Now, again, when I say millions, of course, our earliest ancestors were, didn't look like us, right? But the ones 50 to 65,000 years ago did. This is when they start splitting off with Neanderthals and, Homo erectus and all these different types of beings, right? Which we were Homo erectus, I believe. Don't give me the line. But friends, I'm gonna confirm that. But listen to me. Stay with me now. Stay with me, because I'm going somewhere, all right? A lot of the times people like to believe, especially in religions, that everything that happened in the Bible was the only thing that happened in history. It is not the only thing that happened in history, okay? It is just excerpts and stories from people's lives to teach you about how to be good and do right, all right? And when you do wrong, what happened? This is a manuscript, a living word, meaning that it's ever growing, it's living. Why is it that we find Egyptian artifacts in the Americas before there was any type of conquest, Egyptian conquest or, American conquest to go over there and, pick up artifacts and bring them back over there? Why are they in the Grand Canyon? Okay, why are civilizations just starting 8,000 years ago when humans that look like me and you have been around for 50 to 65,000 years? Why do we all have one common ancestor on the African continent, which would be our grandmother, mitochondrial Eve, that existed around 250,000 years ago? Why are there structures underwater that date back to 50,000 years ago that look like pyramids? Huh? And we keep being told that the earliest known civilization is 8,000 years ago. They keep throwing that known in there like this is the only one we know about, but I believe they know about more. Okay? You start looking at some of the theories that's out there. Let's look at Ms. Hapgood, who was supported by Einstein friends. He suggested every 11,000 years or so that the poles shift. Hold it. Put a pin in that. Boop. Put a pin in that, friends. Let's go to the Younger Dryas impact theory. They suggest around every 13,000 years, the world is hit with a comet and life restarts, right? Pole shift would cause people to restart because it's going to cause tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, continental drift. It's kind of ironic how most of these theories out here have civilizations restarting around the same time. And that is where we see just a random pop onto the scene of civilization, which started with the Sumer people and then Turkey and then Egypt. And they have these huge accomplishments like the pyramids. And then you start seeing pyramids pop up all over. But how do people communicate with each other? They ain't call each other on the phone and say, what you doing, girl? I'm about to start building this pyramid. Well, okay, what's y'all dimensions? Let me measure it out. Let me map it out. And let me drag these huge blocks from way across yonder and build this pyramid. For no reason, just for the Pharaoh. Ms. Hapgood also thought about that, and we kind of see that continental drift is probably a thing that existed, that happens today with plate tectonics and continents moving around. Let's keep going, friends. Y'all stay with me because I'm going somewhere. Let's look at most civilizations. The Sumer people came up on the scene about 8,000 years ago, right? Pole shift is estimated around 11,000. Younger Dryas impact theory is estimated around 13,000. Ain't that odd? Let's look at the ancient Mayan people. They have their long count calendar that restarts every 5,680 years or something like that. Okay, we're talking about thousands of years in impact here, right? Then you start looking at things like the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Now, people say that's not real, that's a made-up thing, but some things that like that suggest that pyramids were built 35,000 years ago. How, when there was no civilizations then? You know what I'm starting to think, friends? I'm starting to think that there were a lot of civilizations prior to the Sumer people 8,000 years ago, but they were just eradicated in natural disasters or things that actually happened. So let's go back to the pole shift. Now, the pole shift by Hapgood says that every 11,600 years, the pole shift, right? That means North Pole, South Pole, just do a little whoop, flip to flip. Now, the Sumer people wrote about the Anunnaki. Anunnaki were the guys that came down from the sky, right? And they came on this planet called Nibiru, Planet 9, Planet X, whatever. And the reason why they came to this planet was because they were mining gold. That way they can repair their ozone layer on their planet. Okay, this is what the Sumer people wrote. Not me, I didn't say it, they said it. And they came here to see the earth and the population of the first type of humans that were here, and cause them to be their slaves so that they can mine the gold for them so they can repair their atmosphere. Do y'all know that you can actually repair an ozone layer with gold particles? Gold is not just used to look good, it's actually used for a lot of different reasons. How would Sumer people know this 8,000 years ago and they're the first civilizations, right? How would they know anything about gold being used to repair ozone layer? Why? How would they know about an ozone layer? It's an invisible layer. They can't fly up there. They ain't got no airplanes, right? That's what they tell us. So how they know what's up there? Okay, but what happens is when this planet Nibiru comes into the gravitational pull of the earth, it causes a lot of chaos, which causes a pole shift. It causes flooding, earthquakes, continental drift, all of that. Hence one of the first flood stories, right, of Unapishtim and Enlil and Enki and all this flood that happened due to this planet coming into Earth's gravitational field. Now they say this happens every 3,000 to 5,000 years. Now, why do we keep finding evidence that something big, major, some major flood happened years ago, right? Not only are we finding evidence of it, there's evidence pointing to people telling us about these things happening in a time where they shouldn't have had no type of technology to know that this happened unless it happened right around the time they came and stepped up on the scene. I don't know. I'm asking y'all. Y'all tell me. So I'm starting to feel like there were actually older civilizations, but if you were to come out and tell us that now, you have to rewrite the history books. And who's doing that? Right? What y'all, I know y'all gonna ask me, well, Mo, what's the benefit of them hiding that from us? It's a huge benefit to the powers that be if I want to control you and tell you that you're here by chance and you just popped out of here, out of the Big Bang, kaboom, and now you're here. Y'all walked out of the water like fish and then boom. No, I don't think that's what happened at all. I think that there have been civilizations that existed before us because ain't no way we're going to advance. In the past, I say in the past 200 years, we've done what should have been able to be done thousands of years ago. We just haven't. What made us so special that we just been able to do it just here recently? Or it's already been done and erased and started over and erased and started over. What y'all think? Now let's look at what we see in a lot of the newspapers that they try and hide from us about what people would consider alien activity, friends. How do we feel like something that came here all the way from another galaxy, another dimension or whatever, just to get here and crash? What if it was already here? What if it was the beings that survived the last catastrophes, right? That's just become advanced and learn to adapt. Could that be a possibility? One of the things that's really got me thinking about this, friends, is the fact that we see pyramids all over the earth. There are pyramids in the Americas. There are pyramids in Antarctica. There's pyramids in Africa. There's pyramids. Well, that is the Americas. That's Mexico. But there's pyramids in South America. there's pyramids all over the place, and they all look very similar, but they all have this type of advanced technology that allows them to be aligned with the stars, right? And I say advanced technologies because, again, we're talking about primitive people. We're talking about people who are just beginning to establish civilizations, right? How are these different countries, different people on different continents, worlds apart, how do they know to build the same type of structures? Again, I go back to the artifacts being in the Grand Canyon, supposedly, and all of these stories of the Smithsonian hiding things and covering up things. How and why would they do that, right? You start thinking about African conquest. They say that the Vikings, the Persian Empire was the great seafarers before the Europeans came along and took over. There was nobody else that was a great seafarer before the Persians, or after, in between. History has it that Africans actually came to the Americas far before European even got over here. Could that be how those artifacts got over there? So the reason why I'm making all these points, friends, is because we need to start thinking about the fact that maybe history was wrong about civilizations and when they started. People never talk about this Turkish civilization that started up around the same time Sumer started. Sumer is just the top, they on the top of the list, and I get it. They like the first written text. They got cuneiform. They got all this, artifacts that you can uncover. But can you imagine how much stuff is not there that we don't know about, that's sunk down to the bottom of the ocean? Let's look in the Caribbean. We see thousands of feet down in the water, pyramids. And they say, nope, that just looked like a pyramid, but it's not. It's an anomaly. Look it up. Go down there. You sending submarines down to the Titanic to look at these people that we know been gone on to glory long time ago. Let's go look for something that would have some explaining for us, right? Let's look at something like that, but we decide that we just not even going to look into it because it's not that big of a deal. When sonar images show us that these things look like pyramids, because then you would have to rewrite who we are, how long ago we were here, and what actually happened in history. There are so many impact zones around the world in proof of comet impact here on this planet. Could comets not have come and wiped out most of civilization and we just restarted it? I know that I feel personally strongly, in my opinion, that there's plenty of evidence of civilizations out there, but it's not going to be revealed to us, because one thing, again, that I continuously say, why are there African artifacts, because Egypt is in Africa, just in case y'all didn't know, in the Grand Canyon? According to the history books, that shouldn't be there. Why is there a Buddhist statue in the Grand Canyon? According to history, that shouldn't be there. Civilizations, for me, in my opinion, have definitely been along a lot longer than 8,000 years ago. And I feel like the powers that be, Smithsonian, all of that, I feel like they know. That's my opinion. And I feel like revealing the truth would explain all these things that people see flying in the sky, all this video footage, what Admiral Byrd seen in Antarctica, and why we can't go down there. And people say, no, you can go down, you can go look, it's just too cold. It's cold at the top of Mount Everest. I got an answer for everything, friends. I got an answer. Put me up against them, because I got some comebacks for that. Okay? Give me a better excuse than that. Why is it that there were so many articles published about like Roswell? They said it was a flying saucer crash, kaboom. Then the next day they said it was a weather balloon. Admiral Byrd, when he came back from his Operation High Jump, him and his crew, now he had thousands of people with him, him and his crew said that they saw aliens. They saw beings that can fly from pole to pole with excessive speeds. What is it about the poles? I'm also going to try to find this footage of this satellite image of a pole, the North Pole, back in the 80s, late 80s. What the heck is that? It's so many questions that we don't have answers to, but in history we get fed breadcrumbs of what things could be, and they're called theories, and they use words like little known, possibly, the earliest known. You know it's more than that. We know that it's truth out there that the powers that be would like to control and keep from you. We know that giants existed, in my opinion, and we know that certain museums know about it and don't want to tell us. Anyway, friends, I really hope I ain't got y'all up in too much of a tizzy. If y'all like videos like this, please drop down in the comment section. Let me know. Like the video, y'all. It costs y'all nothing. That way y'all can let YouTube know that y'all want to see more of me, and I can post more because I have more time to post more, and I can just spend some time with y'all. Y'all can spend some time with me because I be lonely, y'all be lonely, and we be chit-chatting, okay? And share the video. Share it. Send it to somebody. And I don't care if you don't agree. If you don't agree, tell me how you don't agree so that maybe we can get on one accord, because I like to learn. I like to know new things too. Also, I don't think I'm the only one that's right. If you give me a good idea, then maybe we can run with it. We can talk about it. We can get on live, get on Zoom, get on whatever you want to get on. Okay, friends? Well, I hope I ain't got y'all up in too much of a tizzy, and I'm going to call y'all back later on. Bye, friends.